Rachel, I got started with horses. My whole background's been horses. When the mortgage debacle hit in 2008 and the drought hit, the horse industry just stopped. I'd always been interested in dogs. I had 6 Jack Russells at that time, so I was playing with all that madness, which was great. And I decided that I wanted to go into expand my training outside of horses. So I went to work for veterinarians to learn the physiological part first. Then I got a job at PetSmart. I did my 2 years there so I could get my certification. Then I had the unique privilege of working with Lee Mannix, who has since passed away. He's been dead now 6 years, bless his heart, we miss him desperately. I was in an internship with him at the Lee Mannix Center for Dog Training. When he passed away, that stopped, so I just kept going, kept studying. And then I had an opportunity to study with the National Association of Canine Scent Work, because after years of natural horsemanship and seeing all the mental and emotional fitness that's being prepared for horses, we're no longer just whacking on them, which is wonderful. I thought, well, this is natural dogmanship. Here's where dogs are given a choice. They're allowed to search, they're allowed to be dogs. We allow them to tell us how to find odor and how to indicate. In other words, all of it's shaped and the dog's given a choice. It's beautiful. So I jumped on that, and I've been doing that for about 5 years. I've been a certified nosework instructor, but I've decided I'm going to go on and drop that certification because I want to be able to train the way I want to train. There's a lot of different angles that I'm wanting to experiment with. And the protocol at ACSW, you got to kind of train their way.
Okay.
And I don't really need the certification. I'm working on my behavioral certification now because I really, really, really want to help people with the mental and emotional fitness part of their dogs and horses and themselves. The more you get into your dog's mental well-being, your well-being is going to prosper as well, because it is a team. One mind, both minds need to be healthy. It's learning theory. It doesn't matter who you're applying it to. So I realize I do have a lot of scientific foundation, and I can speak the same way to different species. But horses taught me the friendly game, and now we've learned a lot of passive attention with dogs, and we're starting to just rub them more. In fact, that's one of the things I'd love to tell you about your dog. Rub him.
Okay.
When he gets reactive, back him up a step, let's rub. How do you feel about this? For about 20 minutes. It's called passive attention. The dog doesn't have to do anything, but you're there supporting the mental and emotional fitness that you've read correctly in your dog. Now, you don't want to support him if he's, doing what he's, but you know what I'm saying? There's a lot in your touch. It's very, very empathetic with a dog's nervousness, because there's fear and anxiety, and they're very different.
Okay.
So we're always trying to help you with both.
How do you tell the difference between fear and anxiety?
Fear, it comes in episodes, and then you look at how quick things recover.
Okay.
When the dog has the trait of being nervous, they're always in that frame of mind. You can just kind of see the flutes are pulled back. There's a little spatulation of the tongue. The body's tense. And fear presents itself that way too, but most dogs just have short episodes of that and recover.
Okay.
Anxiety is ever present.
Okay.
And it takes learning to read dogs.
Is there a certain tool that you have found helps a dog that tends towards being on the more anxious side across the board, or do you find that each dog is unique with what works for them to help with their anxiety?
I think there's a point of departure in your toolkit, but then you have to tweak things and make them signature to each dog. You sure do.
Right.
You sure do.
Right.
But you can't hurt anything with rubbing.
So touch is really important.
Oh. I just fell upon it, Rachel. I really did. I'm studying with a lady named Brenda Aloff. I adore her. I'm actually going to try and bring her down here so she can give a lecture. And I first heard it from John Rogerson, because he was like, why are y'all using the clicker? You need to build a relationship. The clicker's too robotic. Where's the love? Where's the emotion in the voice? And I'm like, Well, here recently I started rubbing dogs,
Mm-hmm.
and by about day 4, they start looking up and they go, "You're pretty cool." I go, and John Rogerson was like, "Don't use the clicker until they're looking at you." And I was kind of poo-pooing that because I really love the clicker. But I put more of my emotion back in, and he's so right. And even with anxious dogs, you want to have the heart, you want to have consistency before you start bribing them, because food can be a false bridge.
Okay.
And as soon as they realize, hey, you don't have food, well, you didn't keep your contract, you know, and then you have a false bridge. But if you built this here in the heart from friendly game, right, Esther? Friendly game.
Oh yeah, touch.
There you go.
People too.
Oh, you're okay.
Right.
First thing I do. In fact, the timeline photo on my Facebook page is me rubbing a big can of Corso. I mean, I'm just rubbing. And they just melt into it. I go, we're in.
Just like that, you
And then
touch
it's a
base.
heart. Then it's off. Then everything's, you put your heart in your hands.
Right.
And that's the reason to have a pet, is because you give an opportunity to learn another culture, another language, and learn to speak to another culture, another language. And an animal doesn't have language acquisition. You've got to get quiet and observe. It's my prescription for the country. Get quiet and observe. Get a dog so you can do it.